Right, Paris, a very difficult day in Chicago and certainly in Little Village, where we find Amanda Vinicky. Again, she spent the day reporting in Little Village, and she's there now with a community leader. Amanda.
Yes, Brandis, I'm here with Kim Wasserman, who is the director of the Little Village Environmental Justice Organization. And I know that this is, of course, disturbing for everybody. You did have the chance to watch the videos released showing the foot chase, the death of Adam Toledo. Your reaction?
It's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. Our neighborhood has been traumatized, not just with this, but just repeated racist and violent acts at the hands of the city, at the hands of the Chicago Police Department, at the hands of local industry. We just we just mourned the botched implosion of the Crawford smokestack on Sunday. And then here we are today having to watch this video and mourn this child from our neighborhood. And so, no, it's absolutely horrific. And it's continues to be a traumatic time for our community, quite honestly.
What have you shared or talked to either members of your organization or also friends, loved ones who perhaps live in Little Village? What have the conversations been today?
First and foremost, how to support each other and support the family. How do we're expected to be resilient through these things. We're expected to bounce back as communities, and it's hard and it's almost impossible because, again, we continue to have our bodies and our community devalued because of who we are. And so it's really about how do we support this family, how do we support each other. There's a slogan or a chant that's been all year, which is who protects us? We protect us. And it's really about reminding folks that we look out for each other and that we will be here for each other and that we will fight this system with everything that we have. Because he was not just that woman's baby, he was all of our children. I have a 12-year-old at home. That could have been any one of our children at any point in time. He was 13 years old. And so it's a time for us to support each other and just be there for each other and hold this family and hold our system accountable for what it's doing on a daily basis to our community, quite honestly.
Lots of conversations about systemic change that is needed, reform of the CPD. How do you support the Toledo family? They've asked for privacy, held a press conference through attorneys. How do you sort of give that support and not just focus on the heartbreak, but as you said, you're expected to be resilient, but try to lift, change, move.
Absolutely, and I think what you said, it's getting the public narrative out there that this is about system change, that reforms will not change this. Folks wanted body cameras, they turn them off. You want video recordings, audio recordings, they turn them off. This is not about reform. This is about accountability, which apparently this administration just does not want to understand. You need to be accountable to people when you mess up. You killed a child. You are accountable. Chicago Police Department is accountable for that. We are held accountable every day of our lives being people of color in this city. We are held accountable if we don't pay our taxes. We are held accountable if we don't have ID on us. We're held accountable if we have too many air fresheners in our car. Where is the accountability to Lori Lightfoot? Where is the accountability to George Cardenas? Where is the accountability to the system that put this child in that predicament in the first place? And so for us as a community, we have to be honest about what this is. This is systematic racism. We have to call it for what it is, and we have to hold each other accountable. We have to hold our elected officials accountable. Lori Lightfoot needs to say, we messed up, and here is how we plan to fix it with community. The same system that caused this cannot be the same system that fixes this. Our communities need to have the power over these institutions so that our lives actually matter.
Do you think this would have been different if Toledo were white or if it happened in a different neighborhood?
I think we see that every day. The kid in Wisconsin, had an AK-47 and he's still alive. It's when the police choose to want to let us people live. And it's quite clear that black and brown bodies are not ripe for saving, right? It's only those that they're not afraid of. It's only those that, right, they don't want to oppress. And so, we've seen it in the Midwest time and time again. And that's not to say that poor white folks aren't killed by police. It's just to say that when you look at the statistics, they don't lie. And in Chicago, they definitely don't lie at who dies at the hands of the Chicago Police Department.
Not to get too personal here, you brought up that you have a 12-year-old. May I ask What conversation have you had with your child?
You know, it's one that we're unfortunately indoctrinated to teach our children at a young age. It's the one that I learned growing up in Little Village, which is you don't trust 50. You don't call them for help. You call everybody else that you can call. You know what I mean? And so it's just the realities of policing, and she knows that. She knows this. My sons know this, and it's about just the realities of how to protect yourself, how to defend yourself, because any wrong move and their lives could be taken. And, you know, I wish that's not the conversation I had to have with my kids. I wish that's not the conversation I have to go home to tonight, but that's the position that this administration continues to put us in.
Well, peace and wishes to you. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Again, that was Kim Wasserman. She's the leader of the Little Village Environmental Justice Organization. And Kim grew up here in Little Village, was 13 years old herself here once. Back to you.
Amanda, thank you.